talk a little bit about polyamory, non-standard, emotionally committed relationships. My wife and I, not legally married, but she's my wife, my partner, my companion. We've been together off and on for close to 20 years at this point. 17, 18. And, when you get up to that large of a distance of friendship, it kind of starts to blur. We've been actively together for over 10 years now. We have a little bit different sex drives, is the primary thing for why we end up with multiple partners in our lives. I've always had the sex drive of a 19-year-old on Viagra. Hers was normal until a couple years ago when medical issues basically sent her into early menopause. Lost her drive, any interest really at all. And it got to a point where it became kind of obvious that she was mostly going through the motions. And a testament to my desire for my partner to get off, and the fact that she's pretty easy, made it so it took me a while to realize that she was only going through the motions. I don't want to sound like she's a really good actor, but the problem is that once I saw it, couldn't unsee it. I just knew that basically she was doing it because she loves me, and she knows that it's not just like something, well, I have a high sex drive, I could just ignore it, or I could go jack off or something. It ain't like that. There's a psychological issue that I have. My drive is not standard. But I mean, what are we supposed to do? We've run into a little bit of a snag, so to speak. I mean, do we just break up because of it? Or do we find something that will work for us? So that's where we ended up where we are. We couldn't walk away from each other. We're too deeply tied into each other. We have a kid together. Everything else aside, she's one of my closest friends. I've known her for decades. So we decided that maybe we should find somebody to help. Basically to take over the things she doesn't want to do anymore. That I really, and here's where things get odd. Something I don't really feel like forcing on her. That it's not her job. Now it gets weird because I'm into the BDSM scene. I'm a dom. Anybody who's met me for more than 5 minutes could attest to that. And I only mention it so that there is a point of reference for future mentions of it. Anyway, I like control. Just do. It's one of my kinks. She is nobody's sub. we've discussed this a couple times, and I've never seen, if I win an argument, mostly because I had to force a win, that I basically bullied a win for the argument. I never have seen that as her submitting, that it's eventually she defers to my decision because, not because I'm the one in control, but because in the end, I have shown that I know what I'm talking about, and I do know how to advance us. I don't like to think it's because in the end, I'm the one that makes the money, because frankly, everything's in her name. I'm back in shop. I'll be back in a minute.